Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Today I'm doing something a little bit different, a new video that I haven't really tried before, and that is just a general discussion and look forward into some content from a game we've been really enjoying. If you're fairly new to the channel, which most people are because I'm a pretty small channel, you've seen that I've posted a ton of stuff from this game, from Bardsung. We've been going through the adventure book, which we'll get back to very soon, I promise. But I recently got my hands on a couple of these on Free RPG Day when I was on vacation, which are Epic Encounters kind of one-shot RPG books. And the cool thing about these, made by Steamforged Games, of course, is that they are compatible with Bardsung. Now, how compatible, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't dove into them that much. But as you can see inside, you'll probably see some extra footage now. A lot of the artwork is artwork from Bardsung. It looks similar in style, and we've also got some maps that look like they could easily work in Bardsung as well. Now, the Epic Encounters stuff, of which there is much of, is mainly built for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, but because it's a product of Steamforged Games, they've added some compatibility with Bardsung. You can use the maps, you can use the minis from Bardsung to play in 5th. There's kind of some swappability there. Perhaps the most obvious crossover that they've done so far is with the current Kickstarter right now, which is called Epic Encounters Local Legends. So we've been thoroughly enjoying Bardsung. It's by far the most engaging dungeon crawler that I've played. One day I'm going to put together thoughts on all the dungeon crawlers I've tried and why Bardsung is probably my favorite one. So it makes me excited to know that there's more coming. There's probably going to be expansions. There's already a huge box expansion we haven't even touch the surface of. One of the neatest things that Steamforged has done here in just the few months since Bardsung's released is that it's already given us a number of ways to make the game different, including using Epic Encounters stuff, and now launching a Kickstarter for Local Legends, which is a part of the Epic Encounters line, but as far as I can tell, it's one of the most obvious Bardsung cross-pollinations that they've done, and because there's a pledge that you can get with this just Bardsung content. So we're going to take a look at that right now. Okay, so here's the Kickstarter page for Epic Encounters. We're already a good bit of time in, and there's 7 days to go on Local Legends. And we're going to take a look now at just what you can get if you specifically want to get the stuff just for Bardsung. So we're grabbing a seat by the fire and flagon of mead. There's more to a tavern than just beer and brawling, and any GM knows it. So again, this is mainly built for Dungeons & Dragons, for any tabletop RPG you're playing, but as we'll see in a minute, of course, we got some awesome artwork there. We've got a ton of beautiful minis. 38 incredible minis, including 10 imposing bosses ready to cause chaos for campaigns. Make your campaigns legendary. So you have just basically a ton of different themed taverns that you can have. Each one seems to have its own boss and enemy that you would be able to fight. The thing that I just want this owlbear. I love owlbears. So yeah, we'll scroll down here. More different. I believe there's, what did it say? 8 taverns? I didn't quite say. 3 books. Gym advice, tavern games, 60 NPCs, 5e compatible, but easily adapted to any fantasy RPG. 10 taverns. There we go. 10 awesome taverns. So let's scroll past those. The draughty rabbit. Here's pledge levels. All in, you can get everything that comes with Local Legends. For 160 bucks, you're going to save $150 on retail. That's insane. And this includes all the Bardsung pledge material. You get all this stuff here, which is cool. You can just do a core pledge, which is going to get you all this stuff, and it includes cards to use for Bardsung as well. But they just added, not this one. This is the Tavern's pledge. There's a digital pledge, but here you go. Here is a Bardsung specific pledge, in which case you get all 38 minis plus 54 Bardsung cards, which is awesome. A Bardsung adventure booklet, and then 10 different battle maps. Now, one of my least favorite things about Bardsung so far is, well, the tiles. They're not that great. There's no reference to them, so there's some confusing elements to placing them out on the table. There's also a little bit of confusion around the zones, and we did find after we were 2 chapters in completed, we have that reference on the back side of that kind of inlay sheet that you have for Bardsung, the top of the box. And I was like, oh, there's a zone reference. So it tells you how many zones you're supposed to have. But that, again, why is that necessary if your zones are more clear? You shouldn't need something like that. So it's cool that you get a lot of tiles, you get a lot of dungeon tiles in Bardsung, but they could be better. So what excites me about the Bardsung pledge is battle maps. So some different terrain to play on, hopefully. And there's no pictures of that stuff. Well, there's like a stack here, but it looks like you'll get looks like an icy area here, and then a ton more. So it looks like they're closer to perhaps the big boss fight tile, or the big boss fight side of your player board. But we'll see. Maybe there's some actual dungeon tiles in here too. One downside, it's really expensive. I don't know if you want to go $300 into Bardsung. So if you paid 150 or so for your pledge, depending on what you got, you're looking at another 130 plus shipping. That's a lot of money. And I know in these days, all-in pledges are above and beyond that, which is just insane. I've yet to do that. It just feels strange to me to spend that much money on one game. Over time, you will if you end up collecting everything. And in fact, right now I'm kind of on the hunt for Descent 2nd Edition stuff. I've tried Descent and I liked it, but it was hard. But now that it's going away, I kind of want more of it just to have it and get better at it and learn it and tweak it. Because I love everything about Descent, the art style and just how it feels a little bit older. I love that. Right now I just got $4. But anyway, that's pretty expensive for a game that you already have a lot of content for. Again, though, it's really cool to see them support this game in this way. They're saying that this is something we value. If you want more of it, we'll give it to you. And I think that's really cool. So I haven't quite decided if I can do the pledge yet or not. I'm still making my way through the big box. We've got Lost Legends to get through. But minis, man. Always with the minis. Yeah, so cool to see some extra ways you can play Bardsung, the game that kind of just keeps on giving, and one we'll continue to talk about on the channel because it's been really fun, and we've seen the most growth by far covering that game than any other game I've covered so far. I want to get back to doing my deep dive videos too, and sitting with a game and talking about its mechanics. Not quite a review, but more of just a in-depth look at a game. I've done one for Runebound 3rd, which is one of my favorite games ever, and then also for Journeys to Middle-earth, which was really an awesome game that grabbed me during the pandemic. And Bardsung has definitely been that game for this season for me. It's been good. I have a ton of games I haven't talked about, more traditional games we could go into as well, not just kind of solo long story experiences, but there's a lot we could do. So thanks so much for hanging out on the channel. Let me know if you like this kind of video, just looking at things that are happening within the gaming space, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye. Cicadas. We're in the south, so cicadas are everywhere.